Hey, what's up, guys? Welcome back to another video. This is a continuation of our Summer Games Fest coverage. So first off, I want to give a big shout out to Jeff Keeley and the Summer Games Fest team for doing such a fantastic job. And it was such a great event, and we have a lot more coverage coming out over this weekend at the beginning of the week. I'm an old man, dude, okay? So I'm not able to always get these videos out as quick as some of these young influencers out there. But either way, I want to give just an overjoyed thank you to Amazon Games for the amazing opportunity of checking out New World Aeternum. So I'm not the biggest MMO RPG fan, and that's why I think New World Aeternum really kind of brought me into the new world. So New World Aeternum is different. It's changing from an MMO RPG to an action-based RPG. And I think that's the reason why it was just so easy for me to just pick it up and honestly kind of be shocked by it feeling so natural as a console-style game. So I'm really excited for this. I'm not a big MMO player. I'm not somebody that really gets into massive online style games. But if you don't really know a lot about this game, kind of like a short informational thing about the story, it says after a shipwreck on the island of Aeternum, you discover that a champion of corruption known as the Tempest is rallying her crimson forces to conquer the world, and only a handful of human settlements remain to resist. Harness the power over life and death to overthrow the Tempest and bind her soul to save the island and the world. So it's a really cool story, and what's great about it is with the story, it's a big story upgrade. So there's new arcs, there's new cinematics, a new story presentation, as well as they made it accessible for a bunch of new players. So Dave, who's a creative director, actually had stated that there's a ton of new visuals, better storytelling, but one thing that has changed positively for new players is the controls for consoles. So it really honestly does feel like a console game. As I was playing this, I got to sit down and play it for an hour. Visually, a overall just stunning experience. There was a lot of times that me and Dave actually talked about this afterwards, that there was a lot of times I found myself stopping and just kind of looking around and being like, oh my God, this is beautiful. And you see that in some MMOs out there or RPG games out there. But with this, what's special about this is that, honestly, I didn't really have like a million people running by me that were kind of pulling me out of the, visual experience, because this can be a solo game. So you can play this solo or you can play it with your group, but what makes it really accessible is all the different modes that are going to be available on this. So you get to do solo trials, which it pits players against, it's like a 1v1 player kind of boss battle with really premium rewards. Then there's the arenas. So in the arenas, you face off 3v3 elimination matches with a best of 5 format. Eliminate the entire opposing team to win a round. Win 3 rounds to win the match. Then there's expeditions, which it says join 4 other allies and explore the deepest depths of Aeternum to face deadly foes, uncover mysteries about the islands. There's raids to where it's PvE bosses. There's also lawless zones, which I thought was just really cool. So it's PvPvE. So it's a whole free-for-all, and you can get all different types of rewards and resources. You can challenge on and like take down monsters. You can take down rival players. All kinds of really cool stuff. There's also a mode in that is going to be called Outpost Rush. So the goal of this is to fight and capture, fight and hold the 3 outposts with teams of up to 20 players from your faction, which I thought is really cool. They also have invasions. So in invasions, you protect your fort against escalating waves of enemies with up to 50 adventurers from your faction. Influence races, which capture influence towers and strike down enemy factions in combat for territorial supremacy. And then this part right here, bro, I thought was just so fucking cool, which we didn't get a chance to really check this out in person, but just hearing about it. So there is a war mode. So experience epic siege warfare with 50-player teams of attackers and defenders fighting for control and victory. It says win the war and territories. Win the war and the territories is yours to start town projects to give lifestyle buffs and upgrades to your settlement and your fort. So I thought, dude, that right there for me sells the game. Okay, that's a really, really good ton of content that's available to play when this game launches in October. But the fact that you can also easily just solo this experience is really, really great. And to me, is one of the key factors of why this game is an action RPG and is going to be a really great experience for console players right out of the gate. So Scott Lane had actually said before that not only are you going to be able to experience the game solo, but if you feel like it's not really something that you play a lot of and you're going to need a little guidance, they actually have a tutorial aspect of the game set up to where you can have a guide lead you along your way up until I think level 20. And with the fact that the story has been completely redone to just easily kind of ease those new players in is great to me. It's definitely something I feel that a lot of MMOs out there don't really give you. You know, you kind of, by the time you see some of this content out and some of these big CGI trailers that come out and stuff, by the end, like you're joining in and they're already 2-3 DLCs in and you're like, oh my God. All right. So what am I doing? What is this world? So they're launching it, yes, as a new experience, but they're revamping it as well. They're revamping the entirety of it to bring console players into this. Now, one thing I do know is that they're not going to have cross progression in the game, so you can't have a level 50 on the PC version of the game and then use the same exact account and connect it. So some people kind of found that like, oh man, that sucks, but they are going to offer cross play right out the bat, which I think is great. And something else that was pointed out as well by David is that they looked at it from the start like it was a console game. The fact that you could play the game, the fact that you could play the game straight out of the box right whenever it launches in solo, or passively speak with others in the game. It's great to me because I'm not gonna say that I dislike MMOs, because it's not that I don't like them. It's just when you're playing other games out there that before were solo experiences, and then you get into a game in the same universe that is an MMO, it just, to me, it kind of throws me off at times. So with this, you can completely take this game in by yourself 100% of the way, which I think is awesome. So in this demo, I did play as a sword bearer, which is like a berserker that wields like a really, really huge weapon. But in the gameplay you're watching, it was provided directly from Amazon. And it kind of just shows you overall, like, the visuals, the style of gameplay, how easy it is for others to pick up the game. And I'm going to tell you guys, really, the experience was really great. Even with us playing this game and it being in pre-beta. So the game doesn't release until October. So there's a good chunk of time for Amazon Games to really work on this and tweak those little fine-tuned details. But what is really, honestly stunning to me is that I didn't really feel like there was a lot of stuff to tweak. And I think that is because the game did have that ground already built for it, as it was just originally, New World on PC. So What we're going to listen to next is a interview that I had with Dave, the creative director of the game. And overall, I just want to say, man, I know it kind of sounds like I'm gushing, but I really don't. I'm telling you, and I mean this wholeheartedly in the best way. I don't like MMORPGs. Like, I'm not really big on, like, when they talk about an MMO, I'm like, okay, well, I'm going to get that day one. You know, it's something I've got to play. New World Aeternum, though, is not going to be an actual MMORPG. This is going to be something that is an action RPG that can easily take in that can easily take in new players. And from my experience, it's something that anybody can pick up and play and just have fun. And that's what it felt like. I mean, from start to finish, I just had a blast, dude. Like, it was a really, really fun experience. There were some really great comedic moments in the game, in the time that we got to play, and it was just really visually stunning. So I hope you guys enjoyed this interview with Dave, who is a creative director on New World Aeternum. And I do want to give an amazing shout out to Amazon Games for this great opportunity. We did award them best of game. Oh my goodness, best of Summer Games Fest 2024. And I really honestly meant that. Like, it was a really great experience, and I cannot wait to play the game more when it comes out in October, or when the beta comes out this July. So if you haven't had a chance, please check in the description box. I'll have it linked, but you can actually sign up to be invited to this beta, and it's going to be a closed beta, so you better sign up now, because if you don't, you may miss out. So I hope you guys enjoy this interview, and once again, thank you, Amazon, for just the amazing, amazing opportunity. I'll talk to you guys soon. Peace out.
Hey, what's up, guys? It is Celeb, and I'm here with Dave, and we just got done checking out the New World Aeternum demo, and I've got to tell you, Dave, I'm shocked. I'm shocked. I'm not a big MMO, like, kind of online player, but the fact that I know that your goal was to make this like a new launch for the game and to bring in console players. I'm a big console player, and I'm going to tell you, I plan on spending a lot of time with this game. So
that's awesome to hear. Yeah, I think, we want it to feel like an action RPG.
Yeah.
It's action-based combat, how you move, where you position yourself, you have to aim. So
yeah,
it's really got like this solid combat experience at the core.
Yeah, it really does. So, so my question is, so what is something that you could say about New World Aeternum that, what's a way of bringing in someone that is not an MMO player? What's something that New World Aeternum offers in basis of, like, story or gameplay or graphics,
I think, well, you mentioned story. The story, I think, is fantastic. We've done a lot to sort of create new storytelling methods. Like, so you just played, like, we intersperse IGCs. We have these really cool dialogue cameras which get you involved. The story's redone. We've got lots of new NPCs. Grace O'Malley, the sort of fiery pirate you met. Like, we just lots of things to sort of get you into the story early.
Okay. Also, too, something that I noticed in this world is that not only did it have this nice, music to it and whatever, but the world is just gorgeous. I'm real big on something that's going to pull me in. While I'm on my couch, I want to, like, by the end of it, I'm like, I thought I was in this world. I thought this was. So, what is the kind of goal with that at launch, and then maybe in the future? Is it to not just introduce new worlds? Is it to, like, we want to go above and beyond and just make it something that gamers have never seen before? Or, in that concept.
I love that you mentioned. I think that's one of the big things with Aeternum. We want it to feel like you're really immersed in the world, right?
Yeah.
Like, I don't know if you got to chop down a tree, but like the sounds of chopping down trees and seeing a tree fall in the distance and then realizing, hey, someone else in the game just cut that down. It's like a really cool feeling to be immersed in the world.
Yeah.
I think, our plan is, to make this world very dense with interaction.
Yeah.
You can pick up stuff here, fight enemies here. There's no cards around everywhere. So, like, there's just always something to do.
Yeah.
And over time, we're going to make the world bigger.
Yeah.
But another thing we've done a couple of times is, like, sort of as the story evolves, places that you've been to change slightly, right? Like, so the world changes certain places. And I think that's really neat also to, like, because then you sort of, like, remember, hey, I've been here before.
Yeah.
But, wow, it's different now.
Yeah.
I think that's a cool vibe also.
Yeah, and that's something that is a really great thing to see in games. One of the first games that I saw something like that really happen was in like Red Dead Redemption 2. It's a living and breathing world. You'll come back weeks later, not even paying any mind, and a building is built up or things have changed. So not only does that bring a new breath of fresh air to those areas, but it really makes you feel like that those worlds are alive. So what I usually do in most of my interviews too, it's we're very excited about this game. I'm going to talk to a lot of my audience about it. Really, probably be sad whenever I leave California that I won't be able to play it for a bit. But what game did you play when you were younger or over the last few years that really made you realize, okay, this is what I want to do for a living? Like this is what has pushed me into loving video games.
Well, I was an early console player, so I played the Atari back in the day when it was like, a stick and one button. So I remember playing Pac-Man on that. I thought it was the greatest thing ever, because I had to pay quarters to play this thing. And now I can play it at home, and this is available to me at all times. That was really like a moment like, wow, this is going to be fire, right? Like to be able to create these experiences on your couch, in your TV. Well, at that time, they weren't big TVs. But they were still TVs. Now, you're 85-inch TV. It's just amazing.
Yeah. And last thing, if there's anything that you can say about, Summer Games Fest as a whole that you love, or these events, what is it? Is it, seeing the reaction of just like the media, or is it more, cuts down to like seeing the reaction of fans online? I saw a lot of people that were at the Summer Games Fest live event that were just, oh my God, they were so stoked to see a bunch of the stuff. So
I think that's great. For me, what I like is just watching people play the game, right?
Yeah.
Like watching their faces. Where do they like it? What parts may be a little confusing? And like, oh, I got to write that down. There's something to do there. So like getting to see that direct interaction of people playing, and then being able to talk to them afterwards.
Yeah, of course. Well, Dave, I really appreciate it, man. And guys, make sure to watch out at Cinelinks.com for more content from Summer Games Fest, and of course of New World Aeternum. Thanks for watching, guys. I'll talk to you later. Peace out.